How's it going? Welcome back to another Tate Quest dirt bike video. Hey, we got another bike, a project bike. It's new bike day, new used, I guess. Let me pull it out right now. We're gonna give it a pressure wash. I'll show you what's up. Here's the bike. Trusty, dusty, rusty. Well, kind of trusty, pretty dusty, and a little rusty. But it's a 1996 Suzuki RM250 this time. You guys can take a look. She definitely needs a lot of TLC. It's a little overwhelming, all the things I'm kind of thinking about it, everything that we need to do to it. But I was looking for a project, and look, I was looking at some Hondas, I was looking for Yamahas, Kawasaki's, anything that was like a good value. But you know, we had to keep it in the family. We got two other yellows, we got a yellow toolbox. I'm trying to get a yellow truck here soon. I mean, come on, you can't. I mean, I call it the saber-toothed tiger. Look at this thing, dang. Look at that, saber-toothed tiger. It's like the fangs sticking down, those conventional forks. McGrath and Larocco did not like this bike, but you know what? I think for the average Joe, this thing is sick. So I was riding at the track. I was at Glen Helen the other day. So I was there on the 125, and it's like, dude, you know, I weigh about 190 pounds with all my gear on, probably 200, 205. And I'm riding this bike, and it's like, shift, 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 downshift, 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 upshift, upshift, downshift, down. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude, this is so much work. And it was playing like, look, I understand these things are meant to be wrung out, but I put a lot of time and effort and money into my bikes, and just like sitting in the high RPM range for that long, it makes me nervous, man. I'm not trying to blow my bike up. So I rode my buddy's 2002 RM250, and it was a world of a difference. It felt like the same bike, but just like less work. It was great, and it like worked better for my size, and the pull was awesome, and there was a little bit of grunt. And I was like, you know what? I really love the power delivery from my 125 and the way that I can kind of get on the power. But I just wish there was a little bit more, a little bit earlier, a little bit lower in the gears. So that's why we got a similar era 250. The bike does run, kind of has a stutter to it. It's just a jetting thing, but yeah. I'm gonna give it a pressure wash, show you guys what's up, and I'll kick it over for you and we'll check it out.
All right, so a little bit of power wash action for you guys. You know, this bike doesn't actually need a ton of work when it comes to the way that it runs and rides, but what it needs a ton of is TLC in terms of like surface rust, grime, grease, oil, that kind of stuff. You can see I'm struggling with that skid plate there. But yeah, there's just so much to clean, and it's all so gross, but it makes for a great project.
Fuel is on, choke is off, bike is washed. Let's see if it starts. There you have it. Bike runs really well. You know, I had him send me a picture of the inside of the cylinder when I bought it. It looked like there might have been a little bit of scoring, but I'm not too sure. We're gonna have to take a look when my buddy Tate gets here tonight. I gotta clean out the garage. He's gonna help me rip this bike apart, and we're gonna really check out the situation for real. Okay, so a really important thing we need to do before we get all these bikes back in here and get working on the new one is I've got to clean this junk out of here. This is such a hot mess. So here's what it looks like now. And here's what it looks like now. So me and my buddy Tate here, of course I got all three bikes in the driveway. We cleaned out this whole section of the garage. So now it's kind of looking like something. Don't look over here, it's a hot mess. But yeah, so at least we're prepared now to do a little bit of work on the bike. Eventually, I think I'm gonna sell this pool table, but for now, we're gonna put some stuff down so I don't mess up the felt. So any oil that might come out, of course, we're not gonna put anything with oil on it, on here particularly, but in general, we'll be able to put all this stuff down here and it'll be all organized and good. So what our main plan for the evening is, I think of course, if you look at this suspension fork here, it is definitely leaking quite a bit of oil. And then the rear one as well, you can tell if you look down in there, it's leaking as well. So obviously it was serviced by Racetech at some point. So I think I might call Racetech again and see if we can get them to service it. The anodizing's coming off here. That's not a service I think they offer. I'm probably just gonna buff this off and probably clear coat it and leave it because I don't really care to pay someone to anodize it, but we could if we wanted to.
Yeah, those fork seals are pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty soft.
Pepperoni, bro.
Well, it just feels super tight. Like they feel really,
they're really heavy springs. Or, like something about it, it's set up for someone way heavier than me, so it's really stiff.
It's 185.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with gear on.
98, and it felt strong for me. So.
Yeah, the front end's not really wanting to go, and the back end feels pretty bouncy. So we're definitely gonna have to, at least tonight, we're gonna have to get it in a state where we can take off the suspension. I can send it out for service, and then from there, the goal is to make a big shopping list of parts we need, just like little stuff like that and broken lever here. This is pretty cool. I think we're gonna keep this old cloth Renthal pad, and yeah, it'll be good. All right, putting the bike inside, finally ready to start tearing it apart here. Swing this guy under. So in theory, you should put this pin in, but you know, thug life, so we'll leave it out for now.
I'm gonna start right side. I'm gonna pull the front shroud off, rear number plate. Probably will get into the rear fender.
Got it. So you're doing plastics.
Yes.
You're doing plastics on the right. I'll probably do plastics on the left here.
Oh my God, bro. That's it. One bolt.
All right, so while Tate's working on that side, I'm gonna grab this left side here, but I have the power of technology. All right, good news is whoever tightened these only used a drill, so.
Yeah, whoever tightened these used their fingers.
I'm thinking that this is about in as good as condition as this bike has been in a long time. Woo, this fuel line is roached. Good thing I have more, so that's fine. So this is where we have to start keeping the list. So when you guys are taking bikes apart, it's important to check out stuff like this bolt right here. So there really should be a nice long...
Oh my God.
Nice. There should be a nice long bolt that goes through here and holds on the tank, and obviously it is not there. So that's the type of thing we got to start making lists for. It looks like Tate over here got the suspension off, or the exhaust off. What's the deal with this?
Yeah, this guy was all the way up here. And you can tell it's been here for a minute too, because this is nice and clean. So you know it was living here for a minute. This was doing nothing.
Okay, so we need the left-hand bolt. So we're gonna write left-hand tank
It's missing several
bolt.
plastic.
Well, the plastics bolts are fine because we're gonna get a plastics. I'm gonna buy probably a spec bolt plastics kit, so that's fine. But we need a left-hand tank bolt for sure. We're gonna go silencer because that one's totally clapped, and I think we need a new kick, like a new Kickstarter. So, but maybe not. So I'm gonna go kick start.
I think you toss it on the button wheel. Give the old once over.
Well, the problem that I'm having right now with the Kickstarter is that the Kickstarter is running into the brake lever right there. So, and I know that's not factory. Kickstarter question mark, and we're gonna keep the list going. I'm gonna say fuel tank strap. So a fuel tank strap, that'd be fine too. All right. So here, I think this was brand new. Obviously the hardware was not, but it seems to be in way better shape than the rest of the bike. And you know, it's kind of one of the defining features of the bike. So it wouldn't shock me if the kid before me bought this brand new. If we're gonna put decals on it, then we can probably run it as is.
This is OEM factory, by the way,
Totally.
straight from Suzuki.
So let's take inventory so far, Tate. So we've got the subframe here,
Yeah.
and the subframe actually looks to be in good shape.
We're only missing 3 bolts.
Only 3 so far. This is an OEM bolt. I know that because I had to replace it on the other one. That's also OEM, so that's good. So these 2 are OEM. This one's also OEM. Probably gonna get a new tank strap. We already wrote that down earlier. So we'll take the tank strap off. The tank is currently disconnected. Currently, we need 1 more bolt to unscrew right here so we can take the tank off. All right, that's fine.
Do you have a lighter?
I don't have a lighter.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I do.
How are we going to set this on fire?
What do we...
My fault.
So the next thing we're gonna do, so now that we have this, that's okay. Probably gonna buy a new one of these because it's dry rotted. But for now, we'll set it right here. And then the next main thing we gotta do is we're gonna take off the Subo Framo with my man here. So these Suzukis were not known for having an easy neutral.
So when you come down in here, and I have the same problem on the 2000. Check this out. This is the difference between, so we're in first, we're in second. You just have to like barely, see, even that took me to second. Like, you just kind of have to like lift it up. Especially with a boot on, it kind of just feels like, with a boot on, it kind of just feels like you tap it and then you're in neutral. So it's one notoriously difficult thing about these bikes. But hey, it is what it is. So the kid told me that he didn't ride it very often. So he bought this bike to fix up and turn into like a play bike. And then what happened was his boss sold him a 2023 KTM 350 for like a really good deal because he just didn't like the bike. And then the kid never rode it. Yep. Okay. Airbox. All right. So next, we're gonna take a look at the header. So this is the trick for you guys. If you don't have a spring puller, you just use zip ties. So we put the zip tie on here, not bait. Just like that, zip it up. And if it's not a rusted out piece of crap. Oh my gosh. That, I almost separated my freaking AC joint doing that. Shout out Brian Deegan, oh my God. All right, we're gonna see about getting the other side. And of course, the other side is just as problematic. So I'm gonna have to get a brand new zip tie just for that one.
Shout out Prime Wheels, gotta change this boy's life.
Yep. Hit me up. I need some Prime Wheels really bad. Connecting it? Nope. All right.
Header officially off, featuring cobwebs in the frame.
That's sick. All right, there's this. I'll make sure to leave this with that. We do need, okay, one more thing that we need is there's a little dampener down. That dampener right there is broken. So I'm gonna go
You have the springs too.
chamber dampener. All right, so this header we're gonna add to the collection. It's a Pro Circuit Platinum header. Probably don't need a new one, but it's kind of clapped, and honestly, I kind of just feel like getting a new one. So I'm gonna put this around here, and one more header added to the collection. Okay, so on these bikes, when you want to drain the coolant, you have to drain it from underneath. So there's two bolts on the bottom of the bike. There's the drain bolt back here, and then on the top right here, this is the bolt for the coolant. So we're gonna do that too right now. So check this out. So the piston looks okay. Yep, so that's the piston. Then just go a little bit, Tate. A little more. Okay, you're good, stop. Look at the inside of this cylinder. There's no scoring. You can still see the hone lines. I think that we got lucky with this one, dude.
I think so too.
I don't think we need to do any work. I'm gonna take off the top end. Of course, I'm gonna put a new piston in just to see I did. But yeah, it looks pretty good there. Inside of the carb looks pretty good here. Not too bad. Let her down, Tate. And there's the throttle side. A little groove on the left-hand side of the throttle side. We'll have to take a look at that when we take the carb apart, but I think it should be okay. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take off all these radiator hoses. You'll see Tate here working on them. So we're just
If these aren't bottoms, okay, we need bigger.
we can use a socket on that too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if this will be.
So we're gonna take these guys off. We're gonna pop these hoses off. Hopefully it shouldn't be a big deal. Sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. Yeah, there we go. Not on the floor, NBD. All right, so we're pouring coolant all over the floor, but we got the rads off, so that's cool. We got the radiators off. We got the shroud off. We got all the plastics off. The exhaust is gone. We're getting pretty close to cockpit time. Look how loose that is. Woo! Getting pretty close to cockpit time. By the end of the night, I would like to have this and the carburetor off. I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through all these zip ties. I'm going to take like 1,900 pictures of all the electronics here, and then taking off the carb, and then we'll make our way onto the suspension here, and then the cockpit. Probably the cockpit last, honestly. And yeah, the rear shouldn't be too difficult to take off. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll do this one too. There we go. All right, so all our electronics are disconnected from the CDI. Just like that, we're all disconnected. All right, so in order to handle the carburetor, we need to loosen up this right here. And we're gonna disconnect this carburetor, hopefully without cracking the boot. Really important thing, when you have gas-soaked rags like this, you don't just want to wad them up and chuck them in the trash can, okay? So when we have gas-soaked stuff like this, we'll just kind of leave it out. We'll let it dry out, blow it off with the leaf blower, and just make sure that we're not going to spontaneously combust our trash can. That would be awesome. Now on my other bike, it's a key and power jet carburetor. This is not a power jet because there's no electronic throttle position sensor or anything like that. So you should just be able to unscrew this guy. Just like so. Take the throttle cable off the side. There we go, just like that. Okay, and then we're gonna move our way on up to the throttle here. This is what we got going on right now. We took the top one out, we're taking the bottom one out.
Now we'll be able to pull this boy off.
Take off
Top
the throttle.
bitsies. Oh, that's sick.
I wasn't even in the right spot.
Jesus.
All right, pull that out. Yeah, so there we go. Throttle cable disassembled. Pull this thing up. Yeet! Boom.
Kaboom. Kablow.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Moving on to the clutch now.
Woo.
All right, so in order to get the clutch off, we first need to remove it from the flywheel cover.
Having a hard time believing these are to spec.
Woo! Look at that. Look at this flywheel. Oh my
Pretty
goodness.
clean in here.
This flywheel is a rusted, corroded piece of garbage. What on earth am I even looking at? Oh my goodness, I don't even know what I'm looking at over there. What? Well, this is gonna be a
I
problem.
think probably water somehow got inside of this case and then started corroding everything out.
But what on earth
But
is going
this
on?
corrosion, I've never seen this on a fucking flywheel before. That's nuts.
It almost looks like someone, I'm gonna have to do some research on these old flywheels, but it almost looks like someone tried taking it off and the flywheel puller like broken here and rusted. I could be wrong, I'm gonna have to do some research, but like,
Yeah, there's like some random
there's
piece
like
of
there's
metal
like
right
pieces
here.
of metal in there. I think someone tried taking off the flywheel and just destroyed the crank or something.
Magical.
That's super cool. So
Love some bottom end work, bro.
we're gonna have to deal with that at some point. And then we just pop this guy off. Yep. Boom. Okay. So this lines up here. There we go. It's a little roached, but there you go. There's the clutch cable.
Clutch cable officially off.
Okay. All right. There we go. So the foam's a little worse for wear. I've got a spare foam, but we really want to keep the cloth Renthal bar cover. That's pretty sweet. All right. There's the front end off. Here we go. Hey, a little heat never hurt nothing.
Magical.
Boom! Boom! Triple clamps off. Woo! All right, and well, no wonder why it was so tough, because the whole front end wanted to fall out. So that's why you don't do, that's why you don't guess like we do. So now we have some work to do, and the work to do is a little bit more difficult now because of this, but that's okay.
My guy is doing the free-floating tricycle, or not tricycle, unicycle on the front suspension
We
setup.
got that free floating setup, you know what I'm saying?
So this is actually where you sit right here.
That's
You want to
kinda
make sure
fun.
that you lower down these forks as well, just so you have enough seating room in this area up top.
Yay! Okay, so now that we've done this in the most difficult and stupidest way possible, we're gonna take the wheel off. There we go. Woo! One down. Oh my gosh. Boom.
officially off.
All right, that was stupid.
Now we just got to get the caliper.
Yep, just got to take the caliper off. And oh my goodness, we've got the forks off. So I'm gonna have to clean these forks up in a future video. I'm gonna take them to AHM suspension. They're kind of near me, so I don't even think I should have to ship it. I should just be able to bring it into them. But yeah, here we are. So I'm gonna clean them, take them to the guys. They're gonna fix them up for me, and we'll be good. Now, time for the rear shock. There we go. Okay. There we go. Cool.
Reverse them so we know which is which.
All right. And then here we have this nasty rear suspension. So this is what you need to take to your people, along with the forks that I just showed you. And this is what they'll need for suspension servicing. So I'm gonna spray off all of this stuff, make it not gross anymore, and I'm gonna take it to AHM probably. Okay, that's off now.
Yeah, it's moving just a little bit. Yeah, just hold that there, so I can just loosen this guy out.
All right, well, the phone died, but pretty much all that happened was we got the engine off. Here's the frame all by its lonesome. Here's the carnage. There's stuff everywhere in here, but it's not actually that bad. So we got stuff all over. We've got a list of parts. I need to add a few more things. It's honestly not that much. The things that we genuinely absolutely need are like a bolt kit and then just a couple odds and ends. So.
A couple odds and ends. Suspension needs to be sent out.
Totally.
Wheels need to be gone through. Tires need to be done for sure. Handlebars look like they're okay. Crossbar looks like they're okay. Airbox looks like it's okay.
Sure,
Plastics are going to be fine. Would probably go through the front end bearings to make sure those are good. I would definitely go through swing arm bearings for sure. In terms of mechanics, I think the motor is generally fine. That fucking clutch side situation is looking pretty good, but then the other side is not looking so good.
Yeah. So we'll I don't know what the hell is going on with this flywheel. So that's going to be something. I don't think I've seen one that bad. I don't even know what I'm looking at, if I'm being honest. So yeah, might need to procure a new flywheel.
To be fair though, I did get it up to like 9,000 RPM in second gear, and it felt okay.
No, I mean the bike feels fine, but like, you know,
that's a problem.
I don't even know what that's supposed to be just like a normal nut, so I don't even know what I'm looking at. And then even once I get the nut off, like the...
Oh, front brake lever too. Yeah.
Just like, what am I even looking at in here? It looks like someone broke a tool in here or something. And, ugh. But anyways. Well, that's been a video. The bike is torn apart. Some help from the boy here. Yeah. It's going to be... I don't know how long it's going to be before the next one. You know, aside from cleaning and figuring out what's going on with this, the engine doesn't seem to need much work. It's just a clean job. Do a top end, bore gauge, all that stuff with the cylinder, make sure it's all the right size. And other than that, I mean, engine's fine. It's fine. So I'm just going to go through it. So I'll definitely have a video on the engine. There's a lot of surface rust on the bottom of the frame, which is cool. Like, it's just surface rust, but it's eaten through the paint. So powder coating is not really in the budget. It's just raw steel. We'll probably put some Krylon on it or something so it doesn't rust. I'll do some research. Thanks for watching. We're going to go get in and out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.